What's going on, guys? It's No just checking in, and I'm sitting here on a Sunday night thinking and reflecting and doing what I do when I'm left alone to my own devices for too long. And it's usually at night. Some people know that, right, maybe you've heard me say before that a big part of my livelihood, wrong word perhaps, but big part of my day-to-day self-care is just being very busy and having things to do and places to go, pretty much regardless of whether or not I want to do anything or want to go anywhere. But I just try to keep activities and things to distract my mind, pass the time, hopefully do something positive, so on and so forth. But when I'm left at night, I think too much. And I know this happens to a lot of people, and it's happening to me tonight like it does every night. And one thing I wanted to open up and share with you guys was this thing that happens to me, this thing that I do that I imagine a lot of people do, and that is living and holding on to a past that's long gone. It's long, long gone. But there's just this idea. There's this idea of it, and there's this memory of it that I can't seem to let go of. And I've heard other people say they suffer from the same thing. And I do use the word suffer because when I do this, when I hold on and remember and live and romanticize this past that's long gone, before I ever had a mental breakdown, before I ever got depressed, before I ever became suicidal, before I started suffering from bad anxiety and depersonalization, when I think about that past, I get very somber. I get very sad, and I quite frankly pit myself into a more hopeless state almost instantly. And it's been it's been 3 years almost since I had my breakdown. It'll be 3 years in April since I had this life-changing event. That, of course, is the cornerstone of this channel. And I still wonder when life will go back to being what it once was. I still compare things to that life that has been gone for a long time, and it hurts. And here's like an example, and it catches me in every which way. I'll go to the movie, and I'm always wondering, like, how did this feel before I had my massive breakdown. Or be at a family dinner, and I'll try to remember what family dinners felt like when I was more carefree, and when I had no idea how bad things can get and how dark this world can be, and I didn't know anything about mental health disorders like the one that I suffer from, and it's painful because I can't have that back. And I remember asking a lot of people, when will I feel normal again? And when I said normal, I was referring to before everything. When will that come back? And what I've realized so far, and I'd be willing to correct myself if I get the opportunity, but what I've realized is things never go back to normal. Whatever that means when you say it, they never go back to that, from my experience. What I more find is you find a new normal. And what scares me and worries me is that when I reflect on my past, I romanticize it and I build it up to be more than it was, perhaps. Other times I'm like, I scare myself into thinking, no, that was exactly how it was. And that hurts, and that's frightening, and there's potentially a lot of years ahead of me, and I feel like I was born into a new realm of existence when I had my breakdown, and I wonder, is this the existence I have now? You do a little better for a while, you're more stable some days are horrible and painful, you battle symptoms, go up and down all the time. What part of what I'm doing is normal human existence, and what part of it is a direct correlation to the fact that I had that massive breakdown and that something in my brain changed. So, futile questions we can't answer. But all of this rambling and all of these tangents aside, I want to learn how to put the past behind me, really put it behind me, and not constantly reflect and romanticize and reminisce and just I don't feel warmth when I think about it. I feel sadness because I want it back. The simpler times. People say that, and I think perhaps for people that have suffered horrible tragedies, life events, mental health issues, depressions, perhaps um, when we reflect on our past, it's a little different than some general nostalgia that, and I don't want to say this lightly or inconsiderately, but that the average person, although we all have issues, so I'm not special. I know everyone's got their shit. Some people's shit stinks a lot more than others, but we all have our things, But I mean, I hear a song from my youth and it makes me sad. I look at pictures and it makes my heart heavy because I just want that back. I want that back, and I took it for granted, and I did things that led me to taking a certain medication that I had an adverse reaction to. And I relive that, and I relive that, and I replay that, and I have no doubt that until I can push that aside and let that go, there is an aspect of healing I am not affording myself. There's perhaps a level of serenity that I will never attain if I cannot shut the door on this life that I can't get back. I keep dreaming and praying about it and comparing everything to it. It makes you wonder how was I really as great as I thought I was. I don't know. Sometimes I think I'm digging all the way back to my childhood, and maybe it just scares me to think that adulthood has had so far very few wonders and awes, and a lot more harsh realities and sufferings and pains. And I still believe it can get better. And I am in no way telling you that this means I'm giving up or anything like that. I'm just trying to be honest with you. I'm just reflecting on something I do all the time, despite knowing better. I do it, and I want to get better at it. And I want to continue to believe that if I fight, if I push, if I dig, if I research, if I learn, if I adapt, if I grow, if I do everything in my power and turn it over, I want to believe that there is a life ahead of me that will be well worth living, and will be filled with, God willing, the majority of the time, stability and consistency in my mood and stuff like that. I want to believe that. It's my job to believe that. It's my duty. It's my everything. And I want to encourage others to do the same because we're all in it together and we all have our stuff. And this is painful for everyone who goes through this stuff. And I'm sure you guys feel the same way. Usually, when I bet other people think this, they do. So I don't think that I'm just like some incredibly unique person thinking all these incredibly profound, unique thoughts. Like, no, I'm like anyone else. I I take things for granted. I want what I can't have. I future trip and then past trip. I'm never satisfied with the present. We're pleasure-seeking creatures, right? And I've been riding more coasters lately. I'll do a little update on that in an upcoming video. And it just makes me think and reflect and realize there's more work to do. There's more work to do. And may God help me come to terms with the fact that that old life that I had, it is gone. But that doesn't mean that the life that's ahead of me won't be acceptable, won't be good in its own way, just because things have happened. So, for whatever that's worth, just opening up my heart and my mind like I tend to do. And we'll do another video soon. I hope you guys are doing well. And I hope you're fighting hard through whatever life is throwing your way. And if things are well, I'm so happy for you. And if they're not, be brave. You're not alone. I've been at this for a long time, and I still get heavy. I still have symptoms. I still struggle. But I just try to build off what's happened, and the progress I've made. And I try not to get too lost in these slumps and the ups and downs. So anyway, that's all. I've made this a long-ass video. God bless you if you're still here. And take good care, guys. Until next time.